Good morning, and we are live. Folks, it is not looking good. It is not. The GOP is old, decrepit, and dying, and the world is still turning, my friends. Things have not stopped happening. Let's dig into it. Let's talk about it. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. You're going to need it today. Look, we've all seen it. We have. Trump is just delusional, detached from reality. There's always these when he is awake and he is talking, the video clips show him talking about ridiculous things or saying things that are just nonsensical, just craziness. He just is constantly saying the most ridiculous things that have no attachment to reality. We're going to talk about a couple examples that are just critical to our economy, to our infrastructure, to everything. Of course, we're talking about things that are going on around. He's off in fantasy land again. But before we do that, it's not just Donald Trump. It isn't. The GOP is old and it is dying. Mitch McConnell was hospitalized 3 days ago. Nobody's heard shit other than his spokesman came out and said, "Yeah, he will not be returning to work next week. We'll update you. We'll update you." This man has been dying in front of us forever. I mean, we have seen for years him just locking up, losing, his ability to just speak. He just literally freezes like a deer in the headlight. Like nicknamed him Glitch McConnell because of it. I mean, it's just and now he's incompetent. He's completely incompetent. I mean, they can't even do. Y'all remember how upset we were uh, when you know what? Let me pull you an image up of it. Y'all remember how upset we were about Dianne Feinstein? I mean, it was gross. It was gross when they were doing this. She refused to step down for personal financial reasons. And y'all remember, if you're a long time, if you are a long time viewer or long time part of the community, I went off on this. This was sad. This was sick. This was just wrong. They just, for their own selfish reasons, kept dragging her along when she had no business in government. Yeah, y'all remember the shows that we did about that? It was awful. Yeah, it was. It was awful. It was horrible. They would have her in committee meetings and she would just start blurting things out, and then they had a handler next to her that would try to explain to her what was going on. This is where Mitch McConnell is. This is our government. And then you add into it just how let them eat cake, detached from reality these people are. It is beyond pathetic that these people. I've got a video for you, and look, This is for you people that are here live. There's music in the background of this video, and you know how this platform works. If I play a video with music in it, I get a copyright strike, but I haven't had one in a while. So my page will survive it. I will just have to go back and I will have to edit this video out. So if you're watching this in replay, you're not going to get this video. I'll explain it in the end of the video. But I want you to see just how detached from reality these Republicans are. I want you to see this firsthand. I don't want me to tell you what these people are saying and doing. I want you to see it. This is Kai Trump. She has, look, Trump is at like 30% now. Yeah, any lower, if he hits 29, you're going to see a come to Jesus meeting in his approval rating. You're going to see a come to Jesus meeting in the GOP. I mean, this is it. This is the bare bottom. They're trying anything. So they're breaking, now they've got Kai Trump, another bleached, blonde Trump kid trying to, and she is terrible. She is terrible. Completely clueless, has lived, born with a gold spoon in her mouth, and has no clue, doesn't relate. They think this is helping them. This is Kai Trump. And yes, I am going to take a copyright strike for this. No, I'm not going to be able to monetize this show. But it is worth taking the hit for. This video, if you're watching it at replay, will likely not be there. They will make me edit it out for the show to even be available for you. So yeah, you're about to see a skip here if you're watching this on replay. This is for you people that are here live. I really want you to see this.
I guess in the Oval Office right now. So everything's gold because my grandpa hates gold. So he actually decided to add a lot of gold to the Oval Office. That's a joke. He loves gold. It's just like his favorite thing on the planet, if you guys haven't noticed. But he loves gold, so he added gold everywhere. Even that's gold now. Just he has a very, very good like attention to detail. So everything that he thought should be gold, he made gold. This is his desk. That's the Declaration of Independence. But we got some Sharpies because he loves his Sharpies. This is a gold tray for Sharpies, some gold coasters. This is his chair. And then he has a Diet Coke button. So if he presses the red button, Diet Coke comes out. I mean, that's the Oval Office. It's pretty cool. I mean, the paintings are really cool. This is stuff that's been kind of around forever, Guys, welcome into my house.
Yeah, she said that. She said that during that video. Welcome into my house. Bitch, that ain't your fucking house. That ain't your granddaddy's house. That ain't your daddy's house. Little Cocaine Jr., that ain't his house either. Just because your daddy made it look like a fucking Russian whorehouse, don't get comfortable. Daddy ain't gonna be here much longer. Grandpa ain't gonna be here much longer, Kai. Don't get fucking comfortable. These people are completely out of touch. Completely and utterly out of touch. They say and do things like this, and they have no clue what is going on in the world. They just don't. They're completely detached from reality. The broligarchs are starting to figure it out. They are. You're seeing more and more statements from, we got to do something different here. People are getting pissed off. They're starting to smell what's happening. You even have Fortune out here saying, look, the economy is not working for everybody. No shit, Sherlock. When you're a broligarch, you're a rolling. But the rest of us are having a hard time getting groceries out the fucking store. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be such a, so salty. I know some of you, a lot of our viewers are older, genteel ladies, and I'm very glad you're here. Just be patient with me because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. We have a party that is in charge of all three branches of government that is completely freaking delusional, does not want to deal with any reality. At its core is sick and disgusting. The leadership is a decrepit, demented old man that was shit before his brains turned to pudding. Has surrounded himself with awful, broken people. And I am not kidding about the broken people part. This is real. You here that are here regularly with Coffee with Texas Paul have seen me talk about Markwayne Mullin. And I warned you about him. I did. I warned you about him. I told you this guy he's bad news. He is bad news. He is a broken individual, dumb as a box of hair, unqualified to be running the Department of Homeland Security in every single way. But just as a person, he is broken and flawed. This is the guy that tried to threaten, challenge the union leader to fight in a hearing. Just has no self-control. He has issues, folks. I want you to take a look at this. This is Markwayne Mullin. You see that ball in his right hand? That's his pacifier. That is his pacifier. He carries that ball everywhere. It is a stress ball. If you have any background with mental health issues or anything like that, you recognize that. Some guys, they carry stress balls. Some guys, and it's always a guy. You never see women in this situation. You don't. It's always men with no emotional self-control. They'll carry two ball bearings around in their hands and twirl their ball bearings around. Some of them will carry those fidget spinners. Markwayne Mullin carries his pacifier. And if you think I'm being a dick by calling it a pacifier, oh no, that's what he calls it. That is what he calls it. Not me. Hell, even Sean Hannity called him out on this. When he showed up on Hannity's shows, what's with the ball, man? His response, this is my pacifier. No kidding. Could not make it through his first major hearing. Could not. He was sitting there at that hearing. It was pathetic. And the entire world is watching, folks. Just a reminder, the entire world is watching that the head of the Department of Homeland Security was having an exchange with an 83-year-old congresswoman that was being genteel and kind, could not shut his mouth and let her finish the question. When she called him out on it, said, sir, this is my time, not yours. You will allow me to finish my question. He starts. He cannot keep it together. He is completely unqualified for the job and morally bankrupt. He is. Not only is he unfit, he is morally bankrupt. Folks, y'all remember the G700? You're going to love this. Remember the G700 that Kristi Noem bought, that we raised so much hell about She spent almost $200 million on 2 of these things because, she didn't like using the jets that every other administration used. She wanted a new luxury jet. Hers came with the Corey Lewandowski suite in it. The screw room. Yeah. That's what Markwayne Mullin is jet setting around in. They bought it over Congress's objections. Congress held hearings on it to don't waste the freaking money. Markwayne Mullin, DHS, we already got the money. You gave it to us in a previous budget. Sorry, we're buying them. And they bought them. He is jet setting around in this thing. But that ain't good enough. Oh, no. Wait for it. Wait for it. I got to get some more coffee. Hold on, folks. See, Markwayne Mullin, it is widely reported this guy, he leaves midday Thursday, hops on his G700, flies home to Oklahoma. Doesn't come back till Monday. No shit. This is the head of the Department of Homeland Security. Other than the military, the single largest entity in our government. Thursday afternoon, gone, baby. Not back till Monday. Hops on his G700 and flies home. But wait, there's more. He's pissed that he has to pay airfare for his wife to fly separately, or if she flies with him, per regulation, per the law, the government is not your ferry service for your family. He has to pay for her to fly because, he wants her with him. He's another Pete Scotch breath, where his wife has to carry him around everywhere to do his fucking job. Yeah. He don't want to pay for that. So what is he doing? He's pissing everybody the fuck off, including the Trump administration, that are like, hey, man, greed is greed. We're all for it. We get it. But, optics, people are seeing shit. He is floating at every meeting trying to get his wife a job so he doesn't have to pay her airfare to fly back and forth to Washington, D.C. And yes, that is her in the Oval Office because, mommy has to be there for him, just like keg breath. Yeah, folks, he's trying to get his old lady a 6-figure job. And everybody in the administration is like, dude, it's an election season. Maybe not. But you know what? Hey, Sugar Daddy Trump come through. Yeah, baby. Sugar Daddy Trump come through. Yeah. America First Policy Institute, chair of rural policy, Christy Mullin. Oh, yeah, baby. I shit you not. A job that she has no. If you're a farmer, you know what? If you're a farmer that voted Republican, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, you deserve this. Brooke Rollins, show cowgirl. That's your Department of Agriculture. And the America First Policy Institute. Yeah, their rural chair. The one that's supposed to give a shit about your issues. Yeah, that's Christy Mullin. You can't make this let them eat cake shit up. You could not make it up if you wanted to. If you had sat down when Trump got reelected and I said, hey, this shit's going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. You'd have been like, oh, Paul, now come on, man. Oh, come on. You're going over the top. You're just going over the top. You know, there's a lot of Democratic farmers out there that are good people. I am not painting all farmers with a broad brush, but a lot of you sons of bitches exactly have the day you voted for. Have the government you voted for, people. But wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Just stick with me. I want to read a few of your comments. I don't want to get too far behind. I don't want to. Rich, thank you for gifting the memberships. Thank you for gifting them. Thank you for being so generous. George Lyden Weber, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for always being here. Kyra, always here. Thank you, Kyra. Thank you. Appreciate it. I just posted about Kai Trump in the community. She called the White House my house. Sickening. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. New West Bill. Wow. Coming out with the big support. $100, man. Thank you. That is, I understand the value of that, sir. That's not easy. I appreciate you, brother. My house. Jeremy Breeden, same, matching. Thank you, brother. That is incredibly generous of y'all. Y'all are always here. I can't thank you enough for allowing me to do this full time. JW Wilming, $50. Another big one, man. Wow. You people are just humbling me today. Thanks for showing that and some compensation for not monetizing because of this. And yes, I am also pissed off. A golden whorehouse. Yeah, it is. It is. Just call it what it is. Donald Easton, welcome, brother. Welcome. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Midas Pilot, monetized for democracy. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for supporting me, man. Veggie Owl, we need a Democratic president in 2028. First job, restore the Oval Office to decency. It is a place where important decisions are made. Yeah, the first thing I would do would be gut that office. I would rent space in town to run the White House out of, and I would just gut that. No way. That is a stain on our nation. Gin up the base. Let the fucks fly, Paul. Don't hold back. Just words. I'm telling you, brother. I get it. Folks, I get it. You reach out to me. You're like, hey, please don't cuss so much. I don't like it. I hear you. I do. I really do. I just hope you can understand this is not made up. This is not a persona. This is who I am. I mean, and I can't not be who I am. I'm not an actor. I'm not you know what I mean? So please, pretty please, bear with me. I understand it offends you, and I'm appalled. And I do feel bad about that. I do, but I am who I am, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you can tough it out. Ninang, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you. I appreciate you. Melissa Grubb, using my mobile Custom Pond coffee mug this morning. Love this community. I'm telling you. You know, the grandkids don't come over that much anymore. I haven't had to make a Custom Pond video in forever because there aren't any kids here. And you know the rule, Mrs. Texas Paul laid it down. If I'm going to make a hot video and the grandkids are here, I got to go to the Custom Pond to do it. I got to get out of earshot of the house. And but yeah, the grandkids haven't been around. They're growing up on me. They're growing up on me, you know. It's just sad. It is. I told them, don't feed them. If you don't feed them, they don't grow. But no, they are. You know, don't listen to Papa. Rena Scott, that's okay, Paul. We older ladies agree with you in your wording. Just keep doing what you do. I appreciate you, Rena. I really do. I really do. Chandra, thank you. We old ladies can get pretty salty too. No apologies needed. I'm glad you're here, Chandra. I'm glad you're always here. Thank you for always being here. John, good to see you, brother. How's everything going? I haven't heard from you in forever, man. I haven't heard from you. Email me, brother. Let me know what's going on. Send me some pictures of that beautiful Canadian park, man. You know I love Canada. Come on, brother. I have good steel, but can I say that? You can say it. You can say it. Oh, man, that coffee is banging this morning. I hope your coffee's as good as mine this morning. I really do. I really do. Mike Daly, the Dem. Morning, brother. Some money for the cussing jar. Don't know why you'd get a copyright strike on 90s business porn company music, but I guess those writers need to make a living too. Man, I am telling you, it is a hilarious story. Sometime when y'all are with Brando, because I know we share some of the audiences overlap. I love Brandon. I do. Tennessee Brando. He's a good guy. He really is. Ask him to tell you the story where he got a copyright strike for playing his own song. I'm not even kidding, man. God bless YouTube for protecting the artists. Okay. I am not, no smoke towards YouTube. They fall on the side of protecting artists. They do. They're not lenient about it at all. And Tennessee Brando played one of his own songs that he uploaded to YouTube for all of you to hear on his show and got a copyright strike. I'm not even kidding. Ask him to tell you that story. Yeah, and look, he gets this look on his face. He still can't believe it. When he's telling that story, you've seen the look he gets on his face. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. I'll get back to work. Glenn Canico for the cussing jar. Cussing needed today. All right. Pedrazi, 3 months. Salute, sir. Salute. Petrazi, I assume you're a guy. I do, but that could be, you could be. Did I get it wrong there? Let me know. Skeet Sayre, thank you. Everyone in this chat needs to watch the UN report on Israel. They deserve nothing. There's a lot going on with the UN. There are. Donna, help me. I'm going to kill this. Gioia, Donna DiGioia. Help me. If I got that wrong, correct me. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Paul. Did you see what my U.S. rep from Texas 3, the idiot Keith Self, did? He submitted a bill to repeal the 17th Amendment. If passed, state legislators will select U.S. senators. Yes. This isn't a joke either. These people, I don't have a story on that. I really should do a story on that. It's not going to go anywhere. Especially in the middle of an election season. It's not going to go anywhere, but still. I mean, they're freaking out even the Republicans. They are. They're freaking out even Republicans. With it. Look, let me play a video for you real quick. This is Thomas Massey talking about this because it's just getting out of hand. It is. It's just getting out of hand. This election nonsense, and they know it. They know they're actually hurting themselves with normal, rational people.
I'll vote for the SAVE Act, but I think it's a distraction from our real problems. I think it's ironic that we control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House, and we're yelling election fraud. I mean, we won all the damn elections. I'll vote for the SAVE Act, but I think it's a distraction from our real.
As much as I don't agree with that guy on anything, he freaking nailed it. He did. You control all three branches of government, and you're calling the election you won fraudulent. It's getting stale. It's getting old. It's getting desperate. It just is, folks, and they know it. And then they're doing stupid shit. And it's coming back to bite them, like this bill Keith Self put out, where they're just going to let the states pick. This is ridiculous. Keith Sayre, he can't spell the word optics. No, he can't. Skeet Sayre, the only thing this compares to is Mad Magazine circa 1979. It is. And I want you to stick with me, folks, because there are some serious things going on. Some of it good, some of it's going to make you very happy, but it's still critical. Some of it's going to just break your heart too. Paul P. 1701. Thank you, Texas Paul, for helping us fight the good fight against the fascist regime. Thank you. Y'all are being incredibly generous today. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Peter Campbell, gifted 5 memberships. That is our community. They want everybody to have a membership. Just make sure that you've got your settings set that you can receive gifts if you're to get one of these. Jamie Jimenez, it's not their house, it's our house, damn it. Oh, please cuss all you want. It's called for the First Amendment. I appreciate you, brother. I do. Can't get too salty. YouTube get mad at me. I get too salty. They won't let anybody run commercials, man. And then they don't let anybody run commercials. They don't, I hate the commercials too, but it just means that we're making it. If YouTube won't show commercials during your show, it's because you don't have an audience and they can't make any money off of you. Remember, the lion's share of this, this ad revenue and stuff, I get a pittance of that, pennies on the dollar. They get the lion's share of it. If they're showing ads, it's because we're doing something right. It sucks, but it just is. Victim of our own success. Christopher Daly, how about the Great American State Fair? I know, right? Oh, if y'all hadn't heard about that, and again, that's not one I had time to add into the show today, but we'll talk about it on Sunday. We will. The Great American State Fair is a ghost town. It is no interest whatsoever. None. Rhonda Thomas, thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you. Thank you. Katie Dotson, how can children learn what cuss words are if they never hear them? I'm telling you. Yeah. My wife watches the show, so I'm not going to dig me a hole there, but I appreciate the comment. Stacy Swanson, they switched from Kool-Aid to Poulet. Yeah, we're going to talk about the reflecting pool here for a second. Carl Rossi, you've turned a lot of older ladies into good cussers, sitting next to one right now. All right, Carl. All right. Eric Gorski, thank you for supporting the show. A couple more and we're going to get back to work. Petrazi, I'm a female, Paul. Thanks for asking. Thank you for clearing that up for me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being here too. 4-month membership. Thanks for your dose of sanity. Thank you for being here. 4-month member. Skeet Sarah, if you have children, the full UN report will make you hug them. It has me sending tons of super chats today. Yeah, it is rough, man. It is. It is rough. No kidding. War's not free, people. I don't know. That doesn't even close to summing it up. I was having a conversation with 3 guys just day before yesterday. I was at the music store and I like to hang out there now. I'm not going to go off on a tangent about guitars again. I'm not going to do it. But I was at the music store hanging out. We were talking and they were pointing out how, people we got into history and talking about how corporations make tons of money off of war, yada, yada, yada. And I just brought up the fact, and me being Debbie Downer, I'm like, yeah, unless you're an 18-year-old male. And yes, I do know women contribute. Women do fight. I do know that. I mean, times they have changed. They were talking about World War II. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. Not just for the soldiers, but for the people. I mean, yeah, I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, but yeah, you're right. Francie Fosdick, thank you for gifting the memberships. Thank you. Fuck this administration they'd make Jesus swear. Wendy, you killing me today. You're killing me. Bring it. Jesus has entered the chat. New West Bill, Alfred E. Newman for president. Oh, y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me. But look, let's get serious here for a second. It's not just Mullin and his greed, it's open greed. And the fact that he just can't, he has no self-control. He isn't the only one. They're just broken people. I mean, this is, talking about the people around Trump that run things, the Department of Justice. You've got this is Judge Emmett Sullivan. He senior judge in the Washington district. He is a straight shooter. He is a straight shooter. And he thanks, and look, super shout out to Katie Fang. She is doing great work. She has a channel here on YouTube, Katie, Katie, Fang, Phang. If you know, highly recommend. I'm not one of those people that just watch me. No, I love to direct people. You know, you may not know this. She has a YouTube page. This is what she is doing now. She is doing amazing work. Do a search up in the search bar, get you click on the Katie Fang page. Do that after the show. Go check her out. She is freaking great, man. She is doing what the Fourth Estate used to do. She has sued the Trump administration because they did not release they know they didn't release the documents per the law. You know, they passed a law demanding the release of the Epstein documents. And we know they did not adhere to the law. No other journalistic outlet, is at all pursuing any kind of, aggressive journalism, trying to get the story out there. But Katie Fang is doing exactly what this is what it used to be like. If there was a story, they would go after it. If the administration stood in their way, they would sue to get access. They would, by any means necessary, get their hands on the information so you could have it. And that is exactly what Katie Fang did. And the judge has sided with her. This is fantastic news, man. This is fantastic news. Judge corners DOJ for covering up files on Trump's 13-year-old accuser. He has ordered them to release the information that everybody has seen in this case. Everybody has seen, everybody knows is there. The judge has said, release it. He's given them a week to either get it released or they have to come back before him and they have to explain why this prove why, not just bullshit, not just, we feel like, or, national security. No, they have to prove it. If they don't want to release it, they have to prove to this judge why. And that is, I hope, giving you some semblance, some, stealing your spine a little bit. There are still some institutions, some fractions of the institutions that are holding. They are. If we do our job, we're going to be okay. We're going to survive this without falling into a complete fascist shithole nation. But I tell you, man, and forgive me. Look, I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to turn the audio up. Turn the audio up. You're going to have to. This next video clip, I'm going to stop talking in a second so you can turn it up. But this next video clip, the audio is a little low. It's a little muted, but you need to hear this. This is JD Vance. I'm telling you, the people surrounding this incompetent, demented, sick ass president before he lost his mind, worse now that he has lost his mind, are surrounded by people like this.
So we were talking about this a little bit backstage, but I'm actually fascinated by Nixon as a character in history. I think that his historical legacy is enjoying a bit of a renaissance, but I think deservedly so. As I joked with Robert backstage, if Watergate happened tomorrow, it would be like a 12-hour news story. Like, the idea that it would have taken down a presidency is crazy. And by the way, if you look at the story of how the deep state took down Richard Nixon, it's not all that different from what the same groups of people, the same institutions tried to do to Donald Trump in the first Trump administration. There is a parallel. I also just, at a personal level, okay, young senator, vice president, writes some best-selling books, is hated by the media. It kind of sounds like JD Vance. So I'm a little, I've always liked Richard Nixon. But okay, one other thing about Richard.
Okay. If you had a hard time hearing this, what JD Vance just told you is if Watergate happened today, it'd be a 12-hour news story. That's it. It just blows my mind that this took down an administration. I liked Richard Nixon. That tells you what they're doing today is worse than anything Nixon did. He said the deep state took Nixon down. No, it was the Republicans that took Nixon down. The Republicans were in control. It got too humiliating. What's happening now, where you had the core base was still with Nixon, but everybody else is headed for the fucking exit? Yeah, the Republicans back then understood what that meant. And they told Nixon, you got to go, man. These Republicans, this is why I'm telling you, the GOP is dying. They are clueless. They have no idea that, yes, just like JD Vance says, there's parallels there. They are in their Nixon moment between the tariffs, the outright greed and grossness of everything. He demolished a huge chunk of our White House without talking to anybody, without a plan. He got us into a war without a plan. He's destroyed our economy, did damage to the global economy. His approval rating is at 30%. That is the bottom of the cellar. 30% is the bottom of the cellar. Below that, you're in crisis survival mode. Below 30%, you start talking about Albania, the people taken to the streets. And JD Vance is just like, we're cool. Let them eat cake. We're good. Can you believe they took Nixon down? Psh, Jesus. This is who they are, people. When I tell you they are clueless, when they are out of freaking touch, they're telling you, not me, they're telling you with their own lips. And again, it's not just the politicians, it's everything. It is everything. Their entire bubble has just lost the script. They have lost their ability. Y'all remember this. I mean, you've got to know Megyn Kelly. I mean, y'all remember Megyn Kelly, right? I mean, she has been a bigot for a long time. She really has. She has said shit forever that is just.
And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white. And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white.
Yeah. Her. She has always been an out and out racist and bigot. I mean, Santa got to be white. I mean, just the shit that's in her head. Well, it's just she's all the guardrails are gone under the Trump administration. They're just gone, and I'm not going to even play this. I'm not going to play this clip for you. Just the segment. It gets so fucking gross. I'm not even going to play it for you. Megyn sends a message to Haitians that lost their protective status today. If you didn't know, the Supreme Court just ruled that Haitians and Syrians do not have temporary protected status anymore, despite the fact that, we went a long ways to destabilizing Haiti, and it is incredibly violent and dangerous to be there. So we have, the bigots in our White House. I told you, it's all about hurting people. That's the core of Republicans, is they want to hurt some people, man. They want to hurt some people. And here she is saying, go home, get out. We know our country is better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic, culture, and values, which Megyn Kelly has none of those things. You being here only dilutes it for us. Go back to fucking Haiti. Yeah, they're not even pretending to not be bigots anymore. You dilute us. You know, I get it that the bigots she's talking to never get out of their fucking county. But these Haitian communities, the people that employ these people, rave about them. See, the people that fled Haiti were the people that didn't want the crime, that didn't want the violence, they were the cream of the crop. They're the ones you wanted. And it's reflected in their communities. But, you know, everything's got to be all white, all white, all white. That's who these people are. That's who makes up, you know, and they're telling you out loud. They're not hiding it. They're telling you out loud who they are. This is why they fail. This is why you cannot live in a world like this. It doesn't work. Little meth mouth Johnny is not going to do what a hardworking Haitian immigrant that just wants peace and security and a job and a roof. Little meth mouth Johnny is not going to be able to fill those shoes. He's not. It's just the way it is. You know, I mean, and these people are so freaking broken. Yeah. The conservatives, the bigots on the Supreme Court absolutely did this. They did. They rolled back protected status for Haitians and Syrians. Yeah, they're like cool with it, man. Anything that serves the bigot base, they are down for. They are 100% down for. But yeah, there are things going on in the world. You know, we've got the negotiations in Iran going on. And it's so frustrating to watch. It is so frustrating to watch. You know, you got Trump that he walks to, and again, the media just completely fails us. It just completely fails us. He walks to a microphone and Trump says, the Strait of Hormuz is open. That is an objectively false statement. He said that the Iranians were agreeing to nuclear inspections right now. Nope, not happening. Not happening. Does this look like the strait is open to you? The UN, that they're the ones that are running this channel through the Strait of Hormuz, that were, when the negotiations started, and then we didn't live up to our end of it, the IRGC said, fuck this noise. You don't live up to your end, it's on like Donkey Kong. But you've got Trump. I mean, this is provably not true. The UN has stopped sending ships through. Iran has attacked a ship. The IRGC has said, no one goes through without our permission. But Trump walks up to a microphone and says, it's open. It's open. It's open. Wall Street acts like it's the fucking truth. The media doesn't call him out on it. Nobody says shit They let that deluded freak of a president just say that shit and walk off. Nobody's screaming, that's not true. The Iranians just attacked a ship. The UN is no longer sending ships through. But here's the most fucked up part about it. Just how delusional and broken this has gotten. I have had the futures market open this whole time. And I wanted to see what it had done. And over the time from when this show started, it's dropped another $1. West Texas Intermediate crude is now below $69 a barrel, which is, don't get me wrong, oil prices coming down. That's a good thing, man. That is a good thing. But it is in no way in touch with reality. It doesn't matter that futures are selling at $68 a barrel. Wall Street can't shit oil. The ships aren't moving. The oil isn't flowing. So when you're a purchasing manager at a refinery, you don't give a shit what Wall Street says the future prices are. You have to pay based on the availability of oil. Period. Full stop. And right now, the disparity between the real world price of oil and futures has never been greater. That gap between what refiners are paying per barrel in the real world price for oil is so incredibly higher. And guess what? You have to pay it. You know, I keep reminding people of this, and I don't know why it gets lost, but it does get lost every once in a while. Corporations have one job: make money. That's their reason for existing. So your price is based on the real world price. And people don't understand. Well, it started to fall. Prices at the pump started. They came down a little bit. Why aren't they still coming down? They're telling me oil prices are falling. No, oil future prices are falling. Real world prices are not. We're going to talk about a couple other things that are complicating this a little bit farther on in the store and show. But yeah, I hope you understand this delusional shit. You can't run a government off of it. You just can't. And there's something else that I just want to, I just want to touch on. And this is the perfect backdrop. You've got Trump standing in a microphone saying, oh yeah, the strait's open. Well, the people that actually control the strait, it's not the Strait of Brooklyn. It's not the Strait of Brooklyn. It's not the Strait of Florida. It's not the Strait of South Carolina. It is the Strait of Hormuz. And the people that control that strait, actually physically control that strait, are telling you, IRGC warns against new Hormuz route for ships. They're telling you, we will blow your shit up. And they struck one just to make the point. Okay? That's reality. That is reality. But folks, I want to touch on another reality that is cleaning up our own backyard. I get that you like the Lego videos. I understand that. I get that you like that they punch Trump in the mouth and call out bullshit. I get that. But I just want to remind you that you do not like Iran. You do not. These are the same people that poured battery acid on women for just wanting to walk around with their hair showing. And they've gotten worse, not better. Mojtaba Khomeini is more extreme than his father was. And when I tell you we killed the revolution there, I mean, it's dead. The Iranian Revolution is swinging by a rope. They have been hanging people as quickly as they possibly can. They've got 75 executions that are going to happen in the next few days. All of the revolution leadership hanging from a rope right now. And they're leaving the bodies there for their people to see. These are not your friends. The Trump administration hasn't made this better. All they've done is put a more extreme government in place, and now they're going to make them fucking rich beyond their wildest dreams. Because corporations don't care about any of this. They don't. Because corporations have one job: make money. So that's what's going to happen. That's what the Trump administration did. They killed the revolution. Just as much as the IRGC soldiers that put the ropes around their necks and hung them, the Trump administration killed them with this idiocy, this stupidity. Benjamin Netanyahu killed them. Got into an untenable war, an unsustainable war. And now the result is going to be an Iranian government that is more extreme, more brutal, and filthy fucking rich. Because they ripped away all the sanctions. The oil companies sorry about that. I swear somebody over at Spectrum is fucking with me. Second largest gas reserves in the world. Third largest oil reserves in the world. And the oil companies are on it. They're on it. Iran is going to be filthy rich and untouchable. Trump did that. Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu did that. So yeah, like I said, this incompetency isn't free. The fact that we have a demented president that was immoral and broken to start with before his brains turned to pudding is surrounded by people that are just as broken, just as immoral. And it's not free. It's just not. But there are some good things happening in the world. There are. This, I've talked about it in a couple shows. I've mentioned it over and over again. The Ukrainian strategy to build inexpensive, technically excellent drones using just the Ukrainian grit and will to, in the middle of a war, mass produce these drones has completely changed warfare forever. And it's worked. Russia has no clue what to do. Russia, there are gas lines in Russia. They're rationing fuel in Russia right now. There are, right now, as we're speaking, there are cars lined up. You remember the 70s? A lot of you are old and have white hair like me. You remember the 70s? You remember waiting in line to get gasoline because of what OPEC did? Yeah, that's happening in Russia, a country whose only their own, I mean, they are a one-trick pony. Fuel and gas is what they do. They're in gas lines right now because of what Ukraine has been doing. I mean, and the entire world is watching it. Our press, not so much. Not so much. But this is having effect in Ukraine, in the Ukrainian war. Ukraine decided, we're not going to be Russia. We're not just going to throw men into the meat grinder over and over and over again. We're not. We're going to play the long game, and it has worked spectacularly. This is what's going on in Crimea. Right now, Crimea is a ghost town. You remember all these Russians that flooded into Crimea because Putin told them to move there. We're going to set you up with apartments, and you're going to, we'll get you cheap homes, and we're going to Russify Crimea. Just go on. Everything will be great. Yeah, it ain't great. And these people are pouring out of Crimea. Grocery store shelves are emptying out right now. Most grocery stores in Crimea have a few dry goods left. That's it. Nothing fresh. They don't have regular power or electricity because of the drones. The drones you cannot run a truck into Crimea across the Kerch Bridge, any of the major highways. It gets blown up. It gets blown up. They cannot keep the power on in Crimea because Ukraine keeps hitting it over and over and over and over again. And it's, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. The Russians are telling you this. Russian installed authorities declare economic emergency in Crimea. And this is what frustrates me so badly about what's happened to our media, because I grew up in a time when we had a media. I grew up in a time when reporters were a thing that actually did journalism. Folks, not only are there gas lines right now as we speak, right now as we're doing this show, right now as we speak, not only are there gas lines in Russia where they're waiting to get fuel, which you are not seeing on our media at all, there is a 15-mile backlog to get over the bridge to get the fuck out of Crimea. $15-mile-long backlog of cars. And it just keeps growing because they can't get them out fast enough. All those people that were told, move to Crimea, that's your new beautiful life, by Putin and his government, are hauling ass. Ukraine is starving Crimea to death. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. It is exactly what the Russians did to them. Y'all remember Mariupol? Y'all remember the skeletons that came out of there? Walking skeletons because they starved those people? Yeah. Russia is getting a taste of its own medicine, and I am here for it. I am here for it. But yeah, let me read a few. I don't want to get too far behind on the comments. Be patient with me on the comments. I'll try to run through these as quickly as possible. I appreciate you. I appreciate your comments. Stick with me because we've got more to talk about. Mark Gunn, I believe the reflecting pool was cut with Occam's razor. It seems like there was a no bid contract. It went out to Trump's buddy, went over budget. It was shoddy work. Taxpayers are holding the bag. You know what? I'm going to talk about this. Thanks for the segue. Before I do these comments, I'm going to talk about this because this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. The head of the deputy director of the park service. One second. Frank Land has come out and made a police report. I believe this guy just poured gasoline all over himself and lit himself on fire, proverbially, I believe he just ended his career. I do. Frank Lands made a police report, and it's important to note what was not in that report. He came out and said the liner in the reflecting pool was cut by some sort of knife, razor, or sharp object, but does not say it was vandalism. He does not say who did it, who they suspect did it. No information. When was it cut? How was it cut? He just says, oh, it was cut. Which tells you pretty much all you need to know. He's coming out and I can tell you why he's saying this. Because this is what the Park Service did. Remember, they're the ones that dumped the concentrated peroxide into the damn pool to try to kill the algae. They're the ones that did that. So now, because Trump is absolutely getting lambasted about the pool, has come out making delusional comments. It's vandalism. It's vandalism. Frank Lands comes out and makes that statement in a police report. That is important. Now, I realize that he absolutely tried to cover his ass by no details, no nothing. No, it looks like it was cut with a razor. Can mean anything. That is a CYA statement. It is. Just so you know, about the 15th paragraph down, our failing media, as they're all including this paragraph. His statement does not say when exactly the damage occurred or whether it was suspected a case of vandalism, does not identify anyone who might have been involved. But everybody knows what happened. And by the way, this is Frank Lands. This so checks the fuck out. I took a look at this picture and I was like, of course, this is the guy. Of course. Deputy director of the Park Service. And you know what? He's career. He's not even a Trump got elected, Trump put a piece of shit in appointee. He is career at the Park Service. This just goes to show you how some of our institutions are failing under Trump. Because everybody saw it with their own eyes. They saw them dump the peroxide in. Everybody knows what caused that liner to peel. And as far as damage to the liner, everybody saw this. Folks, maybe you don't do any handiwork around your house, or maybe you don't paint things. There are, when you apply something like this, when you roll on paint onto something, there is drying time and then there is curing time. These are not the same thing. It will tell you it'll be dry to the touch in 2 hours. It will cure in 3 weeks. They weren't even done. There were still workers in the reflecting pool. Each of these vehicles, these are Secret Service armored vehicles. The vehicle, fuel, manpower, and equipment, they are 13,000 pounds apiece. 6.5 tons. And you saw them because Trump had to be the center of attention because he's broken. The beast is 10 tons. The beast is 10 tons. That's something that we clarified there, 619. The beast is 10 tons. It is. The beast was not in there. The beast doesn't have the ground clearance to get in and out of the pool. The beast is the limousine. That wasn't there. They took the up armored Escalade, which is a truck, which was the first one you saw in that picture. There are several of them because they have to have duplicates, so nobody knows which one they're in. And yeah, 13,000 pounds apiece, 6.5 tons apiece. But yeah, folks, with all of these things that are going, we're about to talk about something else that is just deadly serious. Hello, focus on me. What the hell are you doing? That's weird. Thank you. Jesus. You're going to have a talk with Sony about that. Yeah, fun fact is Hoover Dam is still curing. But yeah, just delusional shit. That's what our government is. They're just going to say delusional shit because a sick old man made some shit up. And they're going to try to really run a government that way. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Rena Scott, it is hard to find a Republican that follows the law. I follow Katie too. Yeah, she's doing good work. She is. Mike Daly to them. Good God, we've got Timo Spiro Agnew as vice president. No shit. I love that. I love that. Timo Spiro Agnew. Love it. Wendy Bauman. Who the hell is the deep state anyways, right? No kidding. These people are insane. Stephanie. Oh, man. Delatedness? Stephanie Delatedness? I know I'm putting the emphasis on the wrong one. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. 5-month member. Good to see you. Salute. Veggie Owl Girl. 30% approval rating. Wait until all hell breaks loose with the economy. And it is coming, people. It is coming. Rena Scott. St. Nicholas, the original Santa Claus, like Jesus, was not white. Yep. Marta. All bigots, shameful replacement theory. Yep. Yep. Blood and soil. All that shit. Dan Riekenberg, Hog's breath is murdering our military. Yeah, if you haven't heard about what's going on with the flu, the cult, talk about incompetence. For years, the military knows about combat readiness, and they had a vaccine schedule in place. Now an airman has died because of this, by the way. They rolled back because, the orange cult, they've got to appease the crazies. They got rid of the vaccinations and all hell broke loose. The most expected thing that you would ever believe happens when you eliminate vaccinations in, I don't know, boot camp, where you got a bunch of people coming in from all parts of the country into tight quarters. What do you think happens when you don't vaccinate them, when they don't have flu shots? Oh, yeah, everybody got the fucking flu. And now an airman has died because of it. Well, they re-implemented most of the vaccine schedule. Yeah. Duh! Why do we have to do stupid shit, see the stupid results before people say, hey, you know, we did this for a reason. It wasn't Tuesday when we were bored. We saw this shit happen before. Why do we have to be fucking stupid for these people? Skeet Sayre, the UN report is so damning. It makes Iran look like the good guy, but the orange idiot is a Russian asset. I've done shows on the UN before. They are not right. They're not okay. We have a lot of work to do on all of our institutions. Rena Scott, we have to be very cautious of the Iran Lego videos. They are a type of control. The message will change to brainwashing videos. This is what happens in authoritarian communist countries. Yeah, I mean, Iran is not your friend. They are not. Skeet Sayre, that is why invading Iran was a fool's errand. They were already on a war economy supplying the Russo-Ukraine conflict. Yep. This was stupid. Skeet Sayre, Ukraine is pure genius. They are destroying logistics and revenue for Russia while the West is still supplying them. Yep. Tube Kurt, broadly speaking, the people running modern media have no editorial chops or deep news background, just analytics watching chihuahuas. Yep. And they're corporate. They're corporate. Make money. That's all they care about. Everything's a tabloid now. Everything is a tabloid now. Skeet Sayre, the devil already has one hand on rump. Sleeping in public is not good for your health. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Peter Campbell, thank you for gifting the membership, sir. Thank you for always being here. Generous community wants you to have those memberships. Skeet Sayre, that sounds as plausible that in England, Farage is under fire for a 5-meal gift, and one of the acolytes blamed a milkshake attack on TV. I know. It's just, the sad part is that they're going to fail so badly that we all feel pain. And it's that pain that makes those messages as stupid as they are. It lets the stupidest among us wake up and realize, oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's not important. It's just such a damn tragedy that we have to go through it for these people. Skeet Sayre, the pool is pure allegory for this administration. It is. It is. Chandra Patton, thank you for gifting the membership, Chandra. Thank you for being here. You're so generous. I'm truly grateful. Thomas Keene, is it true that the bipartisan bill just passed will become law automatically in 10 days if Slump doesn't sign it or veto it? The housing bill, yes, it is true. It is true. It passed with 382 votes. Yeah, it's going through. It is going through. Trump is going to not sign it to drag it out because he's an asshole. Yeah, it's a bill designed to help with housing costs. Seems mildly important to me, but no, Trump's going to just hold it up because he can. But yeah, it is going to go through. It is going to become law. Shell Bell, just say your next governor, Gina Hinojosa, on Pod Save America. You should probably meant to say just saw her. Yeah, she is good. She is good. I like her. I like her a lot. She was very kind and very generous with her time. And I got to spend some time talking to her one-on-one, and it was fantastic. She is really a good person. She is. She's going to be a good governor. Strong as hell, too. She is. Skeet Sayre, effing idiots. Does no one read how the Panama Canal was built because of vaccines? Yeah. Nope. They don't read. They don't read. They just make shit up in their head. And I'll give you a perfect example of it. Mrs. Texas Paul sent me a local news article about this vaccine issue. They were reporting that the military was now implementing flu vaccines again. The comment section, I live out in Hillbillyville. I do. I am the proverbial blue dot. So this comment section was a perfect MAGA laboratory. And watching these people twist themselves for the cult should be studied. It should be documented. It should be studied. They went from all vaccines are bad to, well, the vaccines that daddy said were good, they're okay, but no mRNA. No, can't have mRNA. They just created a new boogeyman. Oh, it's okay now. Now, yesterday I was saying that it was evil, and yesterday I was saying that no one should take a vaccine, but daddy has said these are okay now. Yeah, it's okay. These are okay now. Folks, they're wind socks. Whatever daddy says is, whatever cult daddy says, that's what they believe. That's it. That's it. There is no more. The only consistent thing is the bigotry and that they want to hurt you. That's it. That's the only consistency in these people. Melissa Grubb, Netanyahu thought he was getting the military under competent leadership when he talked 47 into going to war against Iran. What he got was keg's breath and his drunken stupidity. Benjamin Netanyahu is used to punching somebody and them folding. Benjamin Netanyahu is completely unprepared to get punched back. He's a bully. He's a psychopath. He was completely unprepared. He thought Iran was just going to fold. That's just what people do when Israel attacks them. Most people they attack don't have the means or the ability to fight back. I mean, they're really tough guys when you've got some activists out on a boat in the Mediterranean. They're really fucking tough guys there. But when it comes, that's why I tell you folks, if there was an ass-kicking contest today, as everything stands between Turkey and Israel, I bet everything on Turkey every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Israel is a pissant of a country. It really is. It does not have the men to sacrifice. It doesn't have the population. Doesn't have the men to sacrifice. They don't have the logistical ability to support themselves in a long, drawn-out kicking ass contest. If it's not for us, they die in a war. It's that simple. It is that simple. The moment somebody gets into a real long-term war with Israel, I'm not talking about a 6-day war. I'm talking about what Ukraine is doing. I'm talking about what Iran is doing. With Israel, Israel loses. They fall. This whole, the Mossad is special, and the military are ferocious. The Israelis are no, that's made up bullshit. None of that is founded in truth, in reality. Omniscient Sphinx, we are at the point where DNI is getting info from 4chan. Yeah, it's insane. It is insane. DTQ 7119 wasn't the Spanish flu which killed millions started in U.S. boot camp. I threw some extra I threw in some extra since you can monitor. You can monitor because I can't monetize this video. Very gracious of you. Very grateful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be really embarrassed if they don't hit me with a copyright strike now. I really am. Glenn Kaneko, thank you for being so generous. Thank you. Tiger Butterfly, Israel eyes strategic Dolphin-class submarine base in Somaliland as Red Sea tensions threaten global shipping routes. Crazy regime. The Russians are already there. The Russians have built a military base in the Red Sea. Ricardo Zamora. Love the Gina. You can tell I grew up in South Texas. I can read Ricardo Zamora, no problem. Yeah, man. Love the Gina host sign behind you. Yeah, I really like her, man. She's going to be a great governor. She really is. And you know what? I've been involved in politics for a long time. Her dad is a legend in Texas Democratic politics. He is. Gilberto, he is respect. Skeet said Turkey would blow Israel out of existence. Iran has already crippled them and have no attack aircraft. I'm telling you, folks, all this talk about Israel, it's bullshit. It really is bullshit. As long as it's a quick, one punch fight that does not get drug out. Israel's a tough guy, but like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the face. But yeah, folks, it's just insanity. And here's the problem. This administration has not been tested. Mother Nature hasn't kicked them in the balls yet. Well, that may be changing. All of this idiocy, all of the stupidity, the isolationism, the bad relationships, the running your fucking mouth, the not respecting. There's a reason you show respect to your allies. All of that happening under this administration, they're getting away with it because Mother Nature's been pretty kind to them. That's changing. I don't know if you've paid any attention. You probably heard this on the news about Venezuela's horrific earthquake. And they are really, this was bad, folks. I invite you to go to social media and just watch the videos. I mean, everybody has a cell phone now. This crumbled video this crumbled building that you see in front of you, there are videos of it happening from the inside, people running out or taking video as they ran. It's really something to see, folks. It really is. But folks, it is not just Venezuela. I don't know if you've paid attention to global news, but the Ring of Fire has gone active. In the last 48 hours, we have had major earthquakes around every aspect of the Ring of Fire. British Columbia, our Canadian friends, are being warned right now. We're in the Ring of Fire. We need to be prepared. Our fire departments, our first responders, everybody, get your shit wired straight, because in the last 48 hours, there have been, I think the total now is up to 10 major earthquakes at one time. It is happening, folks. Mother Nature has woken up and she is pissed. She is in a bad mood. I just need you to understand, this incompetence isn't free. There's a reason we act with decency. There's a reason that Democrats are the way they are. Because shit gets bad, yo. The world is always waiting to throw a curveball at you. And these Republicans, they blunder through this shit. They weaken us. It's just stupidity, blindness, greed, incompetence. And for some reason, well, not for some reason, bigotry, hate, and they want to hurt you always sells with them. What Megyn, that gross shit that Megyn Kelly was saying works with your drunk uncle. Yes, your family too. They love it. If you don't believe me, here, let me get you a date. The week of January 24th. Go back and read your MAGA family members' social media the week of January 24th. Read the things they say. January 24th was the day that Alex Preddy was shot 10 times in the back of the neck. On his hands on his hands and knees in Minneapolis, unarmed, surrounded by more than enough people to hold him down and arrest him. Had he been doing anything wrong, he was doing nothing wrong. Broad daylight shot in Minneapolis, just to remind you that happened. Go back to the week of January 24th and read what your MAGA family members said. If you doubt for a second when I tell you they want to hurt you, go read what they said after witnessing that broad daylight execution of one of us, a decent human being, critical care nurse. Go back and read what they said. Don't take my word for it. There's a reason I say this shit full-throatedly. I got receipts, bitch. I still, to this day, think about that woman that was, all she wanted was kindness and for us to get along, and her decency was spewing out everywhere. And she's like, I have sisters that are MAGA and they're not shit people. She was mad at me for, and I told her, I said, give me 5 minutes with them. I'll get them to say some horrific shit. I'll prove to you what they are. She walked away. I don't have to do that. They do it themselves. January 24th of this year. Go back and read their social media posts. How they talk about how he deserved it. This is who we're dealing with. They're incompetent, they're stupid, and they fall for the same stupid shit over and over and over and over again. The commies. You're going to be called a communist in the next couple of days because this is the kick that Trump is on right now. The communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to do is say, I'll give you everything, but that means you're taking it away from others that have earned it over thousands of years. That ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Enjoy watching. President, talk about being out of fucking touch. We're asking for health care. Shit that cavemen did. If you were injured, you were a caveman, they cared for you because, your health was important to society, the aggregate society. Fucking cavemen knew this shit. Healthcare. That's not taking anything away. That's just basic decency. Housing, roof over your head, being able to afford a house, not a free house, not a house given to you. Just, hey, maybe don't make so much fucking profit off of us to where we can actually afford that house. A livable wage, a wage in which we can afford to live in your fucking economy. Commies. We're all commies. Education. If someone is smart enough, can earn the grades, hey, let's educate them because they're a benefit to society. And that's how you keep this economy flowing. It flows out of it doesn't trickle down. These demented freaks think that they're like, lording over of us, throwing us scraps of meat, and that's okay. They think that's okay to think that way, to try to act that way. No. The economy flows from the bottom up. People at the bottom earn enough to live and buy things, basic things, and then the people at the top make money off of that. They don't even know why they exist. They think they're so damn good. I got news for you. Jeff Bezos was just a fucking guy. He was just a fucking guy. Had a little mail order business out of his garage and a wife that was willing to support him. And he got lucky. Right place, right time. He's just a fucking guy. You know how many people were fucking around coding and writing software and shit like that at the time Bill Gates fell ass backwards into Windows? You know, Elon Musk is a perfect example about that. That guy can't do a goddamn thing. But he keeps falling ass backwards into these people that actually do. He didn't design and build a Tesla. That was already done before he got there. And they think they're so damn good. Peter Thiel thinks he's just magic. He's fucking nobody. They're just people. And they don't have the basic understanding. You want to stimulate the economy? Put some money in the hands of poor and middle class people because they will spend it. That's how the economy works. It's not trickle down. It's a tree. Want your tree to grow? Water and feed the roots, and it will suck its way up the tree. They're arrogant as all get out. But you know, folks, I'm loving it. Tallarico came out with this video. The Democrats, the worm has turned, man. It is a new day. It is a new day. This is a video. This Tallarico's campaign put this video out of Cockeye. And you can see by this image why I call him Cockeye.
I love like Jackson Hole. I like Park City. I like the mountains, and I also like beaches. I like places in Florida. I like places in California, even though I don't like to admit that I go to California. But it's beautiful. They have some just Laguna Beach.
What? You like California? It was okay that you said you like Jackson Hole. That's the country. But you like California? Well, guess what? He was fucking raised in California. Ken Paxton ain't Texas, baby. He was raised in California. Loving it. Loving that Tallarico is just punching them in the throat with their own bullshit. By the way, California is a great place. Me and Mrs. Texas Paul honeymoon there. Yeah, it is. It is a great place. Down by the Russian River Valley, went to a bunch of the wineries. It is just stunning. Salute to my California friends. It's a beautiful state. Went up to the Calaveras big trees. If you have never seen, it will make you uncomfortable for a while. The dimensions, when you go up and you see the sequoias and the redwoods, it makes you physically uncomfortable if you've never experienced it. Because the scale is wrong. I mean, it is incredible. It is. You are ready for a goddamn dinosaur to walk out any minute. And the day that we went, there was like a misty fog kind of thing that was there. It was a cool day, and it was Wow. And you know, the only thing that kills these things is their own weight. That and the guy that cuts them down. But yeah, as far as naturally, the only thing that kills these things, I walked up to the root ball on a sequoia tree and I couldn't imagine what it must have been like when this thing fell over. But the root ball was over 25 feet tall. I mean, 4 times my height. And that was only half the root ball because it had collapsed under its own weight. These things are stunningly huge. California is a beautiful place, folks. I am telling you. If you get a chance to go up to Calaveras Big Trees, do it. Do it. But yeah, just to draw, you know, the difference between Republicans and Democrats, because you still have these fucking morons. Oh, they're all the same. They're all the same. Both parties are the same. Oh, really, dude? Really? From Midas Touch, Mayor Zoran Mamdani has delivered on his signature campaign promise after New York City's Rent Guidelines Board voted 7-1 to approve the first ever 2-year rent freeze in the board's history for roughly 1 million rent-stabilized apartments across the city. Folks, that is about 8% of the apartments in New York has had their rent frozen and will not increase. The Democrats focus on people. Republicans focus on their donors who are not people. Well done, sir. Well done. Well done. This is the difference. Now, I want to take a second to sell the dream. You do the work. Right now, Republicans control all 3 branches of government. 2026, we can take back one of them. If you do the work and work hard enough, we can take up both branches of the legislature and control one full branch of government. In 2028, we can control 2. It will take us several years of hard partisan work to get that 3rd branch of government, but we can do it. We can. You just have to put the jersey on. You have to wear the ride or die pin. You have to call yourself a Democrat. Don't call yourself an independent. Don't do that. You vote Democrat all the time. Just accept it. You're a Democrat. Because when you do that, I promise you, what happens is you start taking responsibility for the party. You don't just sit on social media and criticize. You become part of it because the party is you. If you're standing outside just on social media, being your independent self, waiting for somebody else to perform, you ain't doing shit, man. But if you put the jersey on and you show up and say, I'm a Democrat, then it is you. You become the party. Those planks that become where the party goes, those are laid by you and your values. And if we do it, and it will take us years, I'm not promising you pie in the sky overnight bullshit. I am not promising you that. I'm promising you hard work. That's what I'm promising. Years of hard work. That's all I'm promising you. I know, sexy as hell, ain't it? But if you do it, healthcare, education, a focus on the economy, and infrastructure is what you will get in return. That's what you will get in return. And in that environment, you can and will flourish. Even Johnny Gotrocks will do well in that environment. Yeah. Now, I'm not promising you we're going back to the 50s and the 60s, the economies that were driven by a world war, For God's sake, our competition had been obliterated. If you don't believe me, go look at the bombings of London. Go look at the bombings in Dresden. Go look at what happened in France. There was a reason that the American economy was so insane right after World War II, because we were the last functioning economy standing. Go take a look at Stalingrad. Go take a look at these cities in Europe that were utterly decimated after World War II. It wasn't because we were so damn good. It's we were the last man standing. You know, I mean, Japan was destroyed. China was decimated. So, yeah, I'm not promising you that's coming back, but I am telling you, if you do the work, you elect Democrats, and don't just hope they go do the right thing. Become part of the party. Inject your decency. And I know you're good and decent people. Look at all the people giving away memberships here. Just, hey, man, have some. Be part of us. You know, come on, man. If you do it, I'm promising you, you will flourish. We will flourish as a society. We will. We will. Skeet said Turkey would blow Israel out of existence. Iran has already crippled. Yeah. Yep. Skeet said Venezuela is as bad as the tsunami that took away 275K. Yeah. Venezuela is hurting. They are. And we have no leadership prepared to deal with that. Steal oil? No problem. Murder people in boats out in the middle of the ocean? No problem. Deal with Mother Nature throwing a crisis at us? Here, have some paper towels. These they don't understand decency, and you have to have that to deal with crises. You know who knows how to deal with that? Plug the World Central Kitchen. I'm telling you, they are there. They are on the ground already. One second. Already, they are geared up and on the ground. No bullshit, no jokes, no nothing, no nothing, just showing up, doing the work. They're already on the ground in Venezuela. So yeah, folks, that's what I'm telling you. Did I pull that image up, or did I just pull it up for myself? Did y'all see that image of World Central Kitchen's team on the ground there? Chef Andres, if they don't make him a saint, I don't even know what the church is doing. I don't know what the church is doing. If they don't make him a saint, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, Veggie Algro says Spanish flu started at Fort Riley, Kansas. When soldiers deployed, it spread that way. My hometown is separated from Fort Riley by a ditch. Yeah, I'm telling you, these people are just incompetent. They just don't know what the hell they're doing. Skeets here. Earth is under tremendous pressure. It could be the carbon, but once the poles started melting, volcanoes are rampant. You know, yeah, it cycles. We've had a very quiet volcanic period for a long time. Pressure builds up. It's just, that's life, man. Disasters are going to happen. That's why we have to be good and decent to each other and be prepared. I know it's not sexy. And I know that these right-wingers don't, have the ability. If it's not hate or meanness or horrible shit, they can't pay attention to it. But the rest of us, That's why you got to, I can't stress it enough. You got to be ride or die, man. We've got to show up every election, even if we're not 100% satisfied. You walk in and pull the handle. Alex Sundling, thanks for supporting the show. I appreciate you, brother. I cannot do it without you, folks. I can't. Skeet Sayer, the Democratic Party does not pay me. They do not. They should, but they don't. Skeet Sayer, 28. If you want to pay me, you know what? After we take some of this shit back, I want to take a break. Make me we need, we haven't had an ambassador in Tonga for a while. Beautiful Pacific nation, above average people. Make me the ambassador to Tonga. Skeet Sayer, we are the resistance. The fight is the rest of our lives, but it will be easier when decency returns. I don't know if y'all want to do that though, because my ass would be there with a cutoff shirt, flip flops, guitar strumming on the beach. I'm telling you, I might not be the best ambassador to send to Tonga. I might not. Instead of holding meetings in the office and in the facilities, I'd be down on the beach with some Dos Equis on ice and a couple beach chairs. Let's talk about it, man. Come on. What you want to hear, brother? What you want to hear? I might not be the best ambassador to Tonga. I don't know. John Patton, the only thing that trickles down is pee. Amen. Amen. Thomas Keene, all for Mamdani, but very disappointed Dan Goldman lost. He was one of the stars of the committee hearings. He you know what? You nailed it. There was a segment in the Democratic Party that I just could not get to wake up about Israel. Dan Goldman shot himself in the foot. He was doing a fantastic job going after these Republicans. He was. But he just could not bring himself to understand. It's over. Those days with Israel are over. Everybody's looking at them saying, you're a fucking problem. All Dan Goldman had to say is, Israel's a problem. We're going to have to deal with that. That's all he had to do. And he would have cakewalked through this election as the incumbent. Nope. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Yeah. It is what it is. Catherine Ryan, when are you going to open up the Church of Texas Paul? That would be a more than full-time commitment. I'm just speaking clearly, 100%. Church of Science and Humanity, the COSH. I already got a name for it. Church of Science and Humanity. I've really put a lot of thought and energy and research into this. I know exactly what I need on paper to make it happen. But it would take me away from this. I couldn't do it part-time. I think right now, this is more important. The world doesn't need another church right now. Even one that does the right thing, is decent. For instance, no kids in my church. Yeah, these are subjects and subject matter that are way beyond what kids should be exposed to and talking about. No children. There won't be any youth pastors. There won't be any. No, it will be grown-ups. That's it. You teach your children decency at home. We make sure that the schools focus on decency, but you keep your kids out of the church. Yeah. It would be a good thing. It would be a good thing if I did it, but it would mean leaving this. And I sat down and I just had a hard talk with myself and said, no, can't do it. I can't do it right now. This is more important right now to the entire world. Thank you for asking the question, Catherine. I appreciate you. Really, I do. I've got the signatures lined up. I've got everything Yeah, I put a lot of thought and work into it and then put the brakes on it myself. Tiger Butterfly, have you read about this development? Satellite imagery reveals China's PLA rocket force rehearsing precision strikes against U.S. Arleigh Burke destroyers in the desert over Taiwan conflict. Yeah, that is actually not new. That is not new. Yeah, war drills and war. This is what countries do. This is what militaries do. I mean, you can have a military that just sits with their thumb up their ass and doesn't prepare for anything, any fights or anything like that. But to think that that's not happening, yeah, I would be shocked if they weren't doing any kind of drilling. I would, to be honest with you. Don't let that scare you. Don't let it freak you out. There are allies of ours that have had drills on what to do if we go south. I mean, more and more that's happening. Countries we consider allies are actually, okay, what if we got to get into a kicking ass contest with the Americans? What do we do? They're really doing that, folks. Ooh, stomach's grumbling. Ooh. Got to have some breakfast. Going to wrap this up here in a second. A couple more comments, and we're going to call it a day. Skeet Sayre, cycles my butt. U.S. created the climate change problem, and then China accelerated as Earth had nowhere to filter the pollution. Oh, I'm not arguing with you about pollution, brother. But as far as tectonics and plate tectonics, the Earth doesn't care if we can breathe or not. It doesn't. The Earth doesn't care about weather patterns. Plate tectonics are a whole nother deal. Yeah. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. We are killing ourselves. We are. You're not getting pushback here on that. Angelina Valdez, we can't have another Northridge in this administration. Yeah. Skeet Sayre, I grew up in church, but my mom was a real Christian, so I am grounded in decency. I love earth and humanity. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Christians. I don't. I love Christians. One of the people that I loved more than anybody in this world was my wife's Aunt Betty. She wasn't even my Aunt Betty. She was my wife's Aunt Betty. And she was a real Christian. Just decent, kind, patient, strong. You know, some of the best people I've ever known were real Christians. I just wish they weren't so fucking hard to find. Diane Bree Garage, like this Pope, he seems to be a real Christian. Not focused on the church and, everything that's, making everything great for you. That was disgusting watching the last Pope. And Francis, don't get me wrong. He seemed like the kind of guy you'd want to have a beer with, but he was protecting the church. He was. I mean, he was a good guy, but I don't think Leo is this. I think they're very different. I do. And Ratzenberger was even worse, man. Benedict, oh my God. That dude was nothing but the church. I mean, he was, yeah, I have no problem with Christians or Muslims for that matter, or Buddhists. Because people that tend to really follow their religious doctrines, I hate to tell you this, folks, most religious doctrines are exactly what my religious doctrine is about, which is society, making society function, decency, don't steal, all the things that you need to make society function. So when somebody is really adhering to it, I got no problem with it. I don't. Diane Bree Garage. Hey, Paul, have you seen that cars in 27 will have cameras to see if you can drive? They want utter control over us. I am telling you, brother, the technology moving forward, it's like I talk about AI. The way we're doing it fucking sucks, but I don't know that I hate AI. I don't know if I do. Because, what's it going to do? I mean, it's kind of like the internet, man. It's been a pretty great thing. I mean, it's had a lot of it. It's got some real hellhole dark sides. Look, there's some ugly shit on the internet. There is. I mean, there's a lot of criminality and, but as in general, same thing. It's these developments. There are potential problems. There are, but then there's also, hey, my car will not let me drive because I'm fucking drunk. It wants to know why I'm slurring. It wants to know why I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like a horrible thing. I mean, it's none of these things are black and white. They're all gray. And I get your point. I really do. It feels invasive. It really does. I'm gonna need the devil's in the details. I'm gonna need some more details, is what I'm saying. Kate Berry, like, just started regime change. Church would be a waste of talent. I don't know. I think a church that's focused on people and the lessons. You know what? I'll give you a perfect example. Everything I believe, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. I'm not going to go on some religious freako rant. I'm not going to do it. But just to give you an idea. I believe that the lessons that whoever created this mess wanted us to learn are right in front of us. And we should pay attention. I'll give you an example that I use all the time. Do you know what happens to injured ants? And most people think, oh, they eat them, or, oh, they let them starve, or they let them. No, they don't. They take care of them. They move them inside, or when ants get old and weak, they move them inside the mound. And they guard and protect the baby ants. Make sure that they're fed. They clean up. They're not strong enough to go out and fight for the mound. That's the young, the able-bodied. They're not strong enough to go forage. But ants say, well, they're experienced. We should probably have them teach our children. I mean, isn't that just an elegant example of what we should be doing as a society? Respecting our elders like the first people used to do. They don't just care for old people like they're a burden. No. They take their greatest strengths and they incorporate them into their society in ways that they can, it's like I tell people about when they get involved locally with their local Democratic Party. Don't walk in and try to take over. Just chill and learn for a while, even if you don't like everything that's going on. Because these old gray hairs that are running this thing, they've got some knowledge, man. They've been doing this for a long time. Learn from them. Then assert yourself. There is truth and examples on how we should be living all around us. If you want to accept it, okay, like I do, I don't think this was all an accident. I don't. I think it was created. By who or what, I don't know. Do I think there's a magic sky wizard that has a personal relationship with me and a Wi-Fi connection to my brain so he can know all my thoughts? I better have pure thoughts. No, not at all. I don't even know that whoever created this actually knew we were going to come along at all. I think they just created this universe. And I would be speculating to guess why. But I do know if I look around, they teach us that life is finite, existence is finite, that if we want to survive, we've got to build strong societies. And building strong societies means educating people, allowing people to be their best, do their best, to flourish, to get along. Did you know, and there's another, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. because I'm not going to make this about religion. I'm not. Did you know that they've run scientific experiment after scientific experiment after scientific experiment, and they take facial features, including skin color, hair, everything, and they assign a mathematical value to the prominence of cheekbones. Sunken cheekbones are like a 0, and the most pronounced cheekbones, the Melania Trump weirdo cheekbones, are like a 35, right? And they showed people pictures by the thousands, generated pictures, not individual people, but where they had shown people with varying features. Do you know what was the most attractive to everyone in that study? Overwhelmingly, the most attractive? It was the middle of the road. They didn't like the darkest features. They didn't like the lightest features. They liked it kind of right in the middle. Kind of a nice tan. Cheekbones. They didn't like the most pronounced, and they didn't like the least pronounced. They liked the middle of the road. They literally came up with an image that was the middle of the road of all the features, lip size, eye color, everything. It was the middle of the road, and consistently people said that is the most attractive person. And what is that? How do you get that? How do you get that? We all get along. We don't isolate. You know, my people came from the Northland where you had to have clear skin to allow the sunlight in, or you had birth defects. So the most successful people in the Northland were the clear people. But then there are people that grew up in, like equatorial Africa that had very, very dark skin because it's like you needed the melanin to protect yourself. But it's not what we find most attractive, and it is not what you are programmed to seek. What you're programmed to seek is middle of the ground where we all get along. Our societies meld together. I mean, what is the funnest, the best food, the best music? Everything is when we just take these societies, and the universe is showing us. We just need to stop fighting it. Stop listening to people that preach bigotry. Stop listening to people that benefit from us being divided, and start listening to people that benefit by us tearing these walls down and realizing that we are all one people on one little blue rock in a very harsh environment of space. And we need to get our shit together, and we need to get it together. It's what we're programmed to do. So yeah, you might think that's useless. I think it has some value, and I will do it one day. But today, I'm all about this. I'm all about electing Democrats. I'm all about fixing the most powerful nation on earth, bringing decency back to it. It's kind of the same mission. Anyways, enjoy some Texas cities at night.